All right, everyone, so here's the problem I'm having. I have a Maytag Performa washing machine. This is a really old top loader here, and woke up this morning, the washer was still full of laundry and full of water. So my wife come in and said it wasn't working. We're gonna try to figure out what the problem is here today and try to get it fixed. Now, I'm no professional, so do this at your own risk, but I just wanted to show you my experience with it and hopefully help you out in fixing yours if yours is broken. Now, it will fill up with water. You can hear it there filling up. That's because I took some of the clothes out and actually got the water level down. Now it wants to fill back up, but it will not do any other cycles. You can hear it kicking on when the lid shuts. So that's telling me that the switch here for the lid is good. And you can hear the, I believe it's the pump or something, motor kicking on and off. Down below you can kind of hear like a clutch or whatever working. So I'm assuming there's some kind of bushing or something down there that might be bad. You can hear it click off there. Go to the spin cycle. It is not spinning on the spin cycle. And now, I'm no professional. I normally make review videos on electric bikes, electric scooters, and outdoor gear. But when I have an opportunity to make a video to teach somebody how to fix something, I typically do, like I did with my 40 some year old refrigerator, probably 30 years old. But we're gonna go ahead and pump this water out first and then tear this thing apart and see what it possibly is. Now, I think I fixed this once or twice before. It was a few different things wrong with it before. Once it was leaking water and the hose went bad for the drain. Obviously that's not what it is this time because it's not leaking on the floor. And then one time I think it was like a thrust bearing or something. So I'm assuming maybe and hopefully that's what it is, or maybe it's a belt, but we're going to get into it and find out. First thing I'm going to do is pump the water out. I have this 12-volt utility pump here. Luckily I have a sink right here nearby. I'm going to try to pump the water out with that. That's just from Harbor Freight, but I'll put a link down below to that if I can find one on Amazon for you guys. So I'm going to use this EcoFlow, the 12-volt port on it. Make sure not to short these out. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to connect this, but this should work perfect for this, to pump this water out here. Ooh, it's coming out pretty quick. Should work pretty well for draining this out. That pump's using 57 watts here, 53. There's no way I was gonna move this full. I took the laundry out earlier, wrung it all out, and my wife took it over to the neighbors to finish that load. But if you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing, giving me a thumbs up because it really helps out. And check the link down below if you're interested in an EcoFlow product. I'll put a link to this down there. Also a pump, like I said, and any other thing I might use in this video. And check out some other videos too, especially if you're into e-bikes, electric scooters, outdoor gear, things like that. Make sure you check it out. Thanks for watching. And I just realized this pump should not probably be submerged in water. I was just sitting here letting it pump away and I was like, oh crap. So yeah, I don't think that pump's meant for that. Definitely not. So don't let it sit down in here when you're doing that. Wasn't even thinking. All right guys, so this might be an easy fix. I pulled it out and there is a broken belt laying underneath there. So I'm not sure exactly why this broke. Maybe something else is wrong that caused this to break, or maybe it just went bad and broke. But hopefully this is all it is, and hopefully it's going to be an easy fix. All right, so I got it tipped up, and it seems like, I think this is the water pump. Seems like it's able to spin free, so I know nothing's stuck in there. And this seems like it's spinning free. So I'm assuming that that's good, and it seems like it's engaging when it's spinning this way. So I'm not sure if this is the way it's supposed to spin. I would think so. So that's probably good. And then this is spinning free, but I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to do that or not though. If that's supposed to move in there like that. No, that can't be right. That looks really loose right there. Something's going on with this here. I think that's actually the motor. That does definitely not seem right. So I might have to dig a little deeper into this and see why that's loose. To get this top open, there's two little bushings there. Right next to that, there's a clip. If you push that clip in on both sides here, this clip here, this top will just fold right up on this one. And then you take these two screws out here, these two bolts, and that front should come off. All right, got the front off. Now I'm going to take these two bolts out here to take this cover off of the motor. All right, so there's the motor. A little dusty. I'm going to have to sweep that off with a shop vac, but see how it's moving all around? I don't know, guys. Let me know down below. Like I said, I'm no professional. Maybe it's supposed to do that. I don't see any springs or anything that are broken. I thought maybe there would be a spring that would keep it back to keep tension on that belt, and I'm not seeing one or seeing any pieces of one in here. So maybe that's supposed to be like that, and maybe it's supposed to just sit up against there, and I'm not sure. Let me know down below. I guess I'm going to go ahead, purchase a new belt, throw it on, and see if that's what it is. Oh, and for those of you that are wondering, my Kenmore refrigerator fix from 4 years ago, the video I made on that, it's still running strong from that fix. And that's why I refuse to buy a new refrigerator, because these old ones are way better than the new ones. Same with this. I'd rather keep fixing this if I can until it gets unreasonable to fix before I throw it out and get a new one. All right, so I got the new belt in. The first time I ordered it on Amazon, I picked the one that was rated higher and I actually got the wrong belt. They sent me a completely different number than was supposed to be sent from the listing. So I'm going to get refunded from this from Amazon. As a pain in the butt. Even though they take back free returns, you have to take it back to a UPS store to ship it back, or a UPS drop-off facility. So then I ordered this one. It was like the cheapest one. It was like $9. However, it does look like there's a couple little flaws on this one, but overall I think it's going to work great. It was like $9. So let's get this on there and see if that fixes the problem. All right, so I'm going to slip it over these short pulleys first here, and then just try to get it over this one, try to work itself on. Hopefully I can just twist it on here. Be careful not to get your fingers pinched. And it's back on, so hopefully that fixes the issue. Let's try it out. All right, spinning. Perfect. Yep, working great. All right, well, unfortunately, what I thought was going to be an easy fix, and actually it still is, that only lasted one load. The second load, it started making noise. My wife was like, hurry up, come listen to this, and it was squealing a little bit. So I took the belt off, spun all the pulleys again, everything seemed to spin okay. But I noticed there was a little bit of wobble in this pump pulley here, so I bought a new pump to replace it, and going to get it put in, and hopefully that solves the problem once and for all. So this going bad is probably why it broke that first belt. Now, I bought an aftermarket replacement one on Amazon. I think this was like 22 bucks. For the factory Whirlpool replacement one, they wanted, I believe it was like $80 to $100. So hopefully this $22 one works just fine. It looks pretty much the same. I seen on some other reviews, they said that theirs only lasted like a month and started leaking water out of here. So hopefully that's not the case with this one. But I'll update down in the comments over time if I have a problem with this pump. I'll leave it down below in the description and in the comments. And I'll also put a link to it if you have one of these Maytag Performa machines. This might be the pump that you need as well. Disassembly was very easy. I just had to remove two hoses, and there's 3 bolts that bolt this pump in. Obviously you have to take the belt off first, but it just goes right here. The pump pulley goes down through. There's 3 bolts, and then you slip these hoses on here with these clamps, and then you put your belt back on and it's ready to roll. So you got 3 bolts here that hold it in. Very easy fix though. That's what I love about these older wash machines. There's not really much to them. That's why I'm gonna just keep fixing this one while I can. One there, and then one last bolt over here. Pop these drain hoses back on. And I did have to change this hose about a year or 2 ago. It had a slight crack in it and started leaking on the floor. That was also an easy fix. So this will be the 3rd time at least that I fixed this washer. Once there was some kind of thrust bearing or something, or thrust washer in there that went bad. 2nd time was this hose, and now the 3rd time is the belt and the pump. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully this pump fixes it this time. And put the cover back on. And then put the belt on again for a 2nd time. All right, let's try it again. Okay, got it on spin cycle. And sounds good so far. I don't hear any squeals. So hopefully it's good. So for the second time, there you have it. I hope this helps you fix and diagnose your washing machine if it breaks. Like I said, this has already been my third fix. I can imagine there's a lot of people that on the first breakdown would have just went out and bought a new one, but I saved a ton of money by fixing this as well as my refrigerator and some other things when they break when I'm able to fix them. So that's why I love this older equipment. A little bit easier to work on in my opinion. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and I will see y'all around on the next one. Thanks for watching.